It's my great pleasure to deposit with the Secretary of State of the United States of America Finland's instrument of accession to the North Atlantic Treaty. Please, Secretary Blinken.
Thank you very much. Well, with receipt of this instrument of accession, we can now declare that Finland is the 31st member of the North Atlantic Treaty. Congratulations.
And since we are now a member of NATO, we have a very important task. And the task is actually to give to you for the deposit also our ratification for Swedish membership. This is our first act as a member state. Please.
Thank you, Pekka. I'm delighted to receive this on behalf of Finland.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's get you some more on this story. We can cross live to Brussels. France 24's Pierre Benazet is standing by for us. Pierre, an historic moment for Finland then, and it's all now 100% official.
Yes, Rochelle, effectively, since the accession documents were handed to Antony Blinken there, because obviously the United States are the keeper of the Washington treaties, which were signed on this day, April the 4th in 1949, some 74 years ago. The Washington treaties have now 31 allies within the alliance. And obviously, the most important part for the Finns is to be protected by the global deterrence shield of NATO, which is also a nuclear shield, it has to be stressed. And the other important thing for Sauli Niinisto, the Finnish president, is that he handed the ratification document for the candidacy of Sweden, its neighbour, with which it applied to NATO, candidated in May last year, the fastest accession process in the history of NATO, said Jens Stoltenberg, the Secretary General of the Alliance, less than a year after he was they were granted the invitee status. Finland is now a full member, and also Sweden takes part in most gatherings, in most meetings as an invitee. So that's the next step for NATO. But this is obviously a very important geostrategic moment, and also, it has to be stressed, an act of defiance towards the Kremlin.
Well, as you say, Pierre, the I's have been dotted, the T's crossed, the official departure, if you will, is out of the way. What's set to begin next, we can expect? It will be a kind of debate, if you will, on defence spending.
Yes, obviously, this is going to be the main topic of the next NATO summit, which is going to take place in Vilnius, in Lithuania, in July. In itself, the fact that this summit takes place in a country which has a border with Russia is also a symbol. But the main point in the agenda there will be, for most observers, the fact that NATO is going to ask all its members, its 31 members, to raise their levels of military spending. 9 years ago at the summit in Cardiff in Wales, they decided to have a 2% of gross domestic product as an horizon and objective. Jens Stoltenberg says now that this 2% of military spending must be only a threshold on which the allies must build their defense spending. Most of the alliance has been raising the spending ever since Russia invaded the Ukraine. That has happened especially in the Eastern and Central European member states. But this is only the case. It is the case today that 1/4 of the allies do not reach this 2% threshold. They will have to, and they also want to send a signal to the European armament industry, defense industries, that the contracts and the military spending are going to be raised for decades to come.
All right, Pierre, bringing us up to date from Brussels. Thank you.
Thank you.